Thank you very much indeed, Amelia. Well, good time to speak to meteorologist Joe Wheeler, who joins me now, also in the sunshine. Joe, good to see you. More immediately, what is causing this? And I'm not talking about climate change per se, I'm talking about the current meteorological conditions. So what's leading to this long spell of hot and sunny weather?
Well, it's fascinating, actually, because quite often we have warm weather because we've nicked the air from France or Spain and Portugal, a little bit further afield. But this time, the air came from Canada, of course, not known as being particularly warm. And indeed, if it had come straight across the Atlantic towards us, it would have been like a freezer. But instead, it took its time. And coming across, it was under the influence of high pressure, which compressed the air, squished it. And the air that is sinking also warms up. Now, that warm air is not just across us, it's across much of Europe as well, all seeing really high temperatures. And that's why we've got some warm air. But add to that the sunshine in May, which is as strong as it is in late August. So that's why we've seen the temperatures go up. And yes, we are looking at record breakers. 32.8 was set in 1944. I believe it was Horsham in Kent. And we've seen 32.6 today, so just a little bit more. And there's every indication meteorologically that we will. So if you can see 32.8 tomorrow or just above, then we've broken that record for days in May. Little bit higher still, and we get 33.3 or just above, then we break the record for the hottest ever bank holiday, which, just out of interest, was set in Heathrow in 2019. And of course, that was an August bank holiday. So it would be quite something for a May bank holiday to actually surpass one in August. Now, just to go back to those warm and muggy nights, last night actually wasn't too warm. The one before was a bit sticky. But tonight, there could be parts of the south that see temperatures no lower than around 18, 19 degrees Celsius. If one of those places holds up at 20 degrees Celsius, that's a tropical night. And we haven't seen one of those in May yet. So looks like we could see the first ever of that kind. So there's an awful lot going on over the next couple of days.
Yes.
Should point out and have some sympathy for Scotland and Northern Ireland, who have seen nothing like this. Their temperatures have been anything between 11 and 13. It's been cloudy, there's been rain, it's been breezy as well. And also popular holiday destinations like West Wales and the southwest, where we've seen this low cloud and sea mist coming in overnight. So chilly underneath that, quite dismal, in fact. And of course, if you were traveling from central parts of the country out towards Wales for your holidays, your heart would be dropping as you took every mile into the gloom. So not for everybody, but certainly where we've seen the sunshine. And I should also point out that as this area of high pressure starts to push its way northwards, it'll kick out the rain and the cloud from Scotland, Northern Ireland, allow them to join in the sunshine and the higher temperatures, but it will also bring in a rather brisker wind to eastern coasts, making it a little cooler there. Sorry, that was a very long answer to a very simple question.
It was indeed. The heat hasn't slowed you down, Joe, that's for sure. Well done you. I mean, I was going to say, the people looking at that map there, people in the Highlands of Scotland are thinking, what's all the fuss about? And they've got a fair point. Let's just look a little bit further ahead, because if I look at my weather app, and that's how a lot of people will be glancing at things, seeing where it's going, it's here to stay for quite a few days yet. And what do we expect then? Eventually, when you get this hot weather, there's some sort of a breakdown of thunderstorms and that kind of thing. Is that what's likely?
Well, they do say a British summer is 3 fine days and a thunderstorm. It does look as though Thursday is going to bring a few showers to central parts of the country, and those could be thundery, perhaps more likely on Friday. But when we've had such a solid area of high pressure, and in fact, I'm not entirely sure whether one exchanged for another, that was certainly the plan. Whether or not we will then revert back to fine conditions. I mean, obviously, the further ahead the forecast, the more unreliable it becomes, because it's subject to so many variations along the way, particularly...
How far ahead would normally be fairly reliable? Are we talking 3 or 4 days and then it gets a little bit unpredictable?
Yes, it does at the moment. You know, we could see the high pressure come back. We could see a bit of a breakdown in the weather. You know, the longer term at the moment shows a turn to more unsettled conditions and not quite so warm. So, you know, there's a part of me that says, enjoy the fine weather whilst it's here. For me, it's a little bit too hot. That's why I'm in the shade.
Very wise, very wise. Yes, the UV levels, as you said, as hot as late August, that really does bring it home. Joe, great to see you. Thank you very much indeed.
Pleasure.